Did you know that more than a third of children under the age of 2 know how to actively use mobile media? In 2010, the Kaiser Foundation did a study and found that on average, elementary age children spend 7.5 hours a day using technology. This wasn't the case 20 years ago. Many of you can relate to the days when you used to play outside with the neighborhood kids every evening until dark. You hated when your parents made you come inside. Childhood back then was full of imaginary adventures, riding bikes, sleepovers, and family game nights. I cherish similar memories from my childhood. Unfortunately, I've noticed that today's children will most likely not have these same memories. With the rapid advancement of technology, children of today's society will have memories that come in the form of some sort of screen. Society as a whole needs to be aware of the detrimental effect that technology is having on children. Technology is growing at such a rapid pace. Children are being introduced to it at younger and younger ages. It has happened so quickly that many don't even realize the impact that it's having on them. They become reliant on technology for play. In turn, they are losing their creativity, losing their imagination, as well as their ability to problem solve and make decisions on their own. Technology is literally altering the wiring in children's brains. In all, it is the main source of children missing out on important developmental milestones. Overuse of technology by children can negatively affect a child's physical, psychological, and behavioral development. Parents are too often relying on technology as a babysitter for their children. While it may be a quick fix to get some household chores done or simply just some alone time, the long-term effect of this bad habit is simply not worth it. For one, this creates an enormous and sometimes irreversible distance between the parent and child. Children need affection and they need attention. This will not only affect the parental relationship, but in turn makes it very hard for children to learn to socialize with others altogether. Kids are not learning how to communicate and create friendships unless it's done online. Having difficulty communicating with others also leads to behavioral issues. Children have become more anxious and are struggling to self-regulate. Technology has also affected their physical development as well. Kids can't climb, run, and jump if they are sitting in front of a computer or TV screen. It has been said that children require at least 2 to 3 hours of rough and tumble play a day. This lack of physical activity is also one of the causes in childhood obesity. By looking at this chart, you can clearly see what seems to be harmless use of technology can lead to more serious issues down the road. Our society needs to open their eyes to the issues and be proactive on finding a healthy balance. Parents and caretakers need to monitor the use of technology and encourage them to go outside and play. Spike their imagination with a castle fort in the living room. Yes, it can get messy, but childhood is meant to be messy. Kids are not going to remember whether or not the house was neat and tidy. They are going to remember the fun memories they created. Parents and caretakers also need to get more involved with their children. Rather than propping them in front of a TV while they cook dinner, let the kids help with age-appropriate tasks, whether it be stirring the noodles or scooping out a cup of flour. This will not only be fun for them, but will also give parents a chance to bond with their children. Children need to be allowed to be kids. They are noisy, messy, and full of curiosity. Society should not limit their creativeness and talents by forcing them to keep up with the times of technology. We as a whole need to be aware of the effects that technology is having on our children. Technology is rapidly growing and will only continue to grow. While it is not all bad and can be very, very helpful in many ways, children should still be allowed to have a childhood that involves the outdoors, imaginary play, and quality time with parents and caretakers. This is imperative for normal developmental growth. We all need to come together as a whole and bring attention to the issue. Parents need to lead by example for other parents. Don't let technological babysitters be the norm for the next generation.